to the second segment. Bob Chapman with continuing economic analysis coming up in the next hour. Open phones throughout the day. And, of course, in the fourth hour today, Dr. Stan Monteith on the Globalist Depopulation Program. Now, I just wanted to, in the first 30 minutes while I cover news, I want to throw out this toll-free number only for police officers or people inside the state police who are in the clerical areas of the data areas who know whether this is the case or not. Yeah, I know it was 2 legislative sessions ago, but they've had so many special sessions, 2 main sessions. So it was about 4 years ago. We have them every 2 years in Texas. And I got a call from a listener saying the DPS is proposing having a database on anyone who's criticized local or state police so that when they pull you over, they know your political views. Now, I went and looked it up, and sure enough, that was a bill introduced. It did not pass that session. I know it was reintroduced, and I lost track of it in other sessions. Now, I tried to Google it, only spent about 30, 40 minutes on it last night, couldn't find it. It was 4 years ago. I couldn't remember the exact headlines or the name of the bill, so I don't know if it passed. And in the mid and late 70s, it turned out that several 100,000 people in Texas, pastors, mainline people, anyone who had any pull with the community, we're talking Nazi/Stasi/Soviet Union database. The state police criminally in Texas had one of the worst databases in the world. It made the Russians look like good guys. And it was on everybody, basically of any import. Pastors, community leaders, people that groveled to them, people that didn't. And that was in the DPS Intelligence Bureau's database. Just absolutely criminal, absolutely un-American. Now, they got sued. There were federal lawsuits, and they supposedly quit having it. What they tried to get passed into law 4 years ago would have codified the criminal activities we know they continue. But I will be stunned and amazed if, by the way, it was ruled to be criminal. I will be stunned and amazed if they were actually able to pass it. But I can't keep track of everything. My father, my dad has a compulsion against buying anything. And he had this old car, about 10 years old, that was breaking down all the time. So I basically sold him for nothing. My dad's not rich, but he has money. He just won't buy anything. It isn't that he's even a spendthrift. He just doesn't buy things. He doesn't like buying things. I've seen him with holes in his shoes before and bought him shoes. And, again, he grew up on a farm where they bought stuff out of a catalog, and he doesn't like going to the store unless it's guns or fishing poles, and that's about the only thing he'll buy. Or tools, just classic hillbilly. But, he's not a hillbilly. He's a dentist. But the point is he's from hillbilly stock. And he won't buy anything. So, make a long story short, I don't know why I told that part of the story. I sold him a 5-year-old car that we had and got my wife a new one, a little sedan, a Passat. I basically made him buy it from me because his car was broken down most of the time. In the shop all the time. He was walking to work. I'm not joking. He was walking to work. He only lives about a half mile away from work. And so, long story short, my dad is driving my car, and I sold it to him about 2 months ago. He hasn't changed the registration over yet. And he's driving through a small town, and my dad's such a nice guy, he doesn't want me to mention the town. He doesn't want any heat on the police officer that pulled him over. No doubt the town has plate scanning systems. That's what it sounds like most towns do. A lot of towns themselves are now accessing it. And so my dad's driving 65, coming back from our ranch in East Texas, family land, on some business. He's coming back Sunday night about 10 o'clock at night in Franklin. And I'm not going to get into the officer's name and everything because he just gave him a warning ticket, and my dad was supposedly speeding. It's where the highway goes through a town, and it goes from 65 to 45. Didn't give him a ticket. They wait 10 minutes. They come up to the car all scared, and they say, well, you're not Alex Jones. And my My dad says, no, this is his car. I just bought it. And they said, well, our database shows that you're a handle with care. In fact, I wrote a note yesterday when he was here in the office. I think I'm going to get the exact term. Flagged for special handling. That's what he was told. Flagged for special handling. And my dad's like, well, what does that mean? And they just said, well, oh, by the way, I'm a fan of your son's radio show. And it was an older police officer with a younger police officer there in the town. And so, I mean, are we in such a secret police system that I don't even know the databases are active now? I mean, I know I'm in the DPS intelligence files. I know I've asked the FBI repeatedly for my FBI file. They will not give it to me. They're supposed to by federal law, but this is a criminal government. They're not giving it to me. I've got to go through some procedure to try to force them to give it to me. I'm sure it's so big they don't want to have to excise and black it all out. I mean, I want to make a news piece out of it. But, see, I've been pulled over, and when the police pull me over, they act like I'm some 14-headed monster when they come up to the car, when I do get pulled over now. And it's the state police that have pulled me over a couple times in the last year or so. Now, I know that the cities tie into the state police database. It's also tied into the federals. Can someone call in here and tell me? Or you're not allowed to talk about that. It's such a secret police America that you're not supposed to tell us. I mean, you're not supposed to run our plates without probable cause, but we know the license plate reading systems that do go into a database of, quote, warrants. You know, we know that's been federally up for 10 years, and now they're telling the police about it in the last 2 years, upgrading and letting them know. In the fusion centers, the emergency management centers, the threat integration centers, the local federalization command bases that have National Guard, state police, local police, sheriff department in them. Now that state police call in and go, I thought you were crazy, but they are telling us that we're federal now, and we got to follow the orders of the president and not the governor. Well, and I know you got SLAT training and all this other training, and FEMA comes in and tells you the founding fathers were terrorists. I mean, I have on video in Kansas City, the police and state police and local police and firemen all being taught the founding fathers are evil and Christians are evil. I mean, you can't make this up. And I have state police pulling people over in their own squad car videos at checkpoints, and they find a pocket constitution and they freak out and start breathing heavy. It's in Road to Tyranny. They start, look, she's got the paraphernalia. And the guy's going, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is she allowed to have this? And the other commander comes over and goes, I think she may be allowed to have that. It's like satire. It's like some type of Kurt Vonnegut book about a future police state where the police are heavy breathing over finding a pocket constitution. Then they found one of my videos, Police State 2000, and, folks, it was all over. She was going to jail. So I just want to make sure and confirm that I am flagged as some type of dangerous miscreant. I've been arrested at a few protests, and they've always dropped the charges because they knew it was a violation of my civil rights. They didn't want me to sue them. The one time the state police did arrest me in a thumb scanning protest in '97, the guy apologized, pulled over, said he was a Christian, took my handcuffs off, and took me into the Austin jail where I got roughed up by the 5'1" redheaded guy who enjoyed shoving my head in the wall a couple times. But that was my experience there for nothing. It was just get up against the wall and a little, extra dribble my head off the wall a couple times. He'd only let me know you were a pile of dog, what on the ground, boy. You think it hurt me that you pushed my head in the wall? It made me feel sorry for you, what it must be like to be a coward and a nobody who makes all the other, I guess, jailers, police, whatever you want to call them, look bad. But I'm already digressing. I forgive you for that. You're the one taking mercury shots, drinking fluoride, and loving your government and having your dollar devalued. The point is that I need you to call in and tell me about this little database, or was this town subscribing to some federal database? I know some of them do and some of them don't. There's a lot of stuff going on. 1-800-259-9231. I don't care if you're the state police in Maine, the state police in Kansas or Missouri or Oklahoma,